Hey.
What's going on?
Just, work's been pretty awful without you there. You and I were partners.
I don't want to talk about work.
Is it because what they're saying is true?
My first question would be, Mr. Redmayne, that what was the most attracting thing for you to play a serial killer? Or the most intriguing?
Yeah.
Even.
Well, I suppose that the most intriguing thing about this entire piece for me, why I wanted to be a part of it, is it seemed to defy definition. On the one hand, the headline that it's about a serial killer, but when I read it, it was actually really about this hero, this extraordinary woman who managed to prevent him where all the systems had failed. It was also an exposing of a broken system. And it was also a story about a relationship, a love story almost, like a friendship story. And even though I absolutely understand that it falls in the kind of true crime serial killer bracket, it actually felt definitionless. And that was intriguing. It felt like a different type of genre, which felt interesting to me.
But did you give a thought that this guy killed 400 people?
Did I think about that at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And how he was able to do it, how he was able to get away with it for so long, what it was in his personality that meant that he could not be stopped for 9 years, how invisible he was, what qualities he had in him, this self-deprecation, this kind of humor, this empathy almost, that meant people sort of wanted to look after him almost. That all of the anomalies of that was interesting to me.
Can you talk a little bit about your preparation, your process of acting? Because I think this is kind of a role where you need to do a lot more than the dialogues. You need to do something really deep, I guess.
Well, there was something. What was amazing about playing Charlie Cullen is you had a wealth of material. So you had footage of many of the scenes that are in the film. There was direct footage of. You have voice recordings. There is also a book that the film's based on, which the last third is our story, and the other 2/3 are really in-depth, detailed biography of this guy. So never have I played a character where I had such a wealth of material. He was described in the book as looking like a question mark, and that was interesting to me, both physically and emotionally. There was an anonymity to him, a kind of blankness to him. But most important of all was spending time with the real Amy Lochran, who described how he was two different people. It was her friend, who she loved, who was kind and empathetic and funny, and a brilliant nurse, and who saved her life. And then this other human being who she met twice, who was a blank vessel, whose eye drifted off in this specific direction, and who had an extraordinary arrogance to him. And so she described it as a disassociative personality. And that was so important because it meant that you could lean into the truth of the friendship and then the truth of this other human being.
I don't want to sound naive, but I am naive because I'm not an actor. But how can you deliver this state of mind, this state of personality, this kind of a person who obviously you are not that kind of person. So do you do it by fantasy or you do some I don't know, a story inside?
Well, honestly, my process, I never went to drama school, so I always feel like I'm winging it, and my process shifts and changes from character to character. But with this one, there was so much information about his childhood and the trauma and the extremity of how he had been abused, and what I tried to do was read all that and take all that in and then shove it down, like embed it in your stomach somewhere, months before filming. And so that by the time you're in a scene playing with Jessica Chastain or Noah or Namdi, you're just responding to what you're given, and you hope that that work you've done a long while ago bubbles to the surface and is in you.
Thank you very much for your great answers. It was an honor.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
He's been killing people without ever touching them. He's gonna get a new job, and it's all gonna continue.
I hope you guys can hear me. He's walking right now. Hey.